Hi everyone, my name's Michelle and Mama Loves You GB. This is FlossMas. This is the 20th of December. We are really close now. And this is the day that I realised that I haven't really sent any cards. They need to go in the post pronto. I haven't organised, well, I've organised the gifts for Nessa's teachers, but I haven't really done much more than that. And so all of a sudden, there's quite a lot of things that need doing, as well as schoolwork and everything just to get finished. So yeah, it's suddenly got a bit busy. But never mind, we're not here to worry about that. We are here to have just 15 minutes of enjoyable cross stitch for today. I have got the usuals, plus I've also got something very special to share with you today that arrived with me today. So yes. Right, let's start off with this one. This is the Roxy Floss Evertote Modern Folk Embroidery stitch along that I've been doing all month. It needs very little introduction, and here it is. So yesterday we were tasked with adding in some of the blue leaves up here that go and help to support my rather thick set squirrels. They need a bit more support in the branches there. So it's quite nice actually, because every little bit is kind of quite small at the moment because the bulk of it seems to be done, although we'll probably be hit with a huge bit today. Every day now it's kind of like just a little bit extra to do. So let's see where we've got to. This has definitely been a real joy, and I know a lot of you have said that next year, if you haven't been doing it this year, next year you're going to keep an eye out for it and make sure you get yours. So, quick check of the envelope. Have a look. No, nothing more to be had there. So, today I want to share with you another special sampler in my collection. Well, funnily enough, Jacob, so do I. So this is the picture. This is the thread. It's a beautiful kind of icy blue called Thin Air, which is pretty amazing. So where have we got to put Thin Air? Okay, so we've got some bits to fill in down the bottom here. So some bits down here in Thin Air. So there's some bits inside these two triangular cartouches, and there's also some doodads here, and there's a couple of dogs there and there. Is that everything? Yes. Thank you to those people who keep me on the straight and narrow. I did one day last week show it without one of these missing because I realised that I'd done it wrong when I went to put the urns in. So I had to then take it out, and I just hadn't put it back in at the time. But the eagle-eyed amongst you had spotted that, so thank you. And there is the thread. Now I did actually purposely bring up the whole ring today so that you could see all of the glorious Roxy Floss Co colours that we've had. Beautiful. Right, I have also stitched, let's put a little bit down there. I've also stitched a little bit on my Blackbird Designs, Blessings and Kind Wishes. Now the original chart is back in this envelope, ready to be posted back as soon as I finish to Patricia. So hence why any of you think I'm showing a shonky copy. I'm not, I'm showing a working copy. And this is where I've got to. So I've still carried on with the green, which is called Balsam Fir. And I've turned the top there, and I have done the first leaf of what will be this kind of almost like wreath-like structure here. But what I'm trying to get into is the writing, because I quite like getting the writing done, because I always think it's quite an easy win, especially on Blackbird charts, because the writing's normally quite big. So this is a piece of 32 count latte by Fibre on a Whim. The called for was a 30 count, as it quite often was, Old Town Blend by R&R Productions, which I might actually have, or something similar, but I picked this instead. Right, let's see where we are with number 20. Let that go. 22, 24. I'm now looking for the big gaps to try and find out where it is. None there. 23, 20. There we go, behind these sort of boxes here. Oh, let's have a little look. Oh, got the horn. We found the French horn. Oh, actually, I'm sure it's not a French horn actually on second glance, but it is a horn of some type. A very fancy looking horn it is too. There we go. I'm going to put that down there out the way. Now, the freebie that I've got for you today is, I don't ever think I've shown this one, which is quite unusual because it's quite an old one. It's from 2012. It's by Plum Street Samplers and it's called Christmas Coffee. So it's stitched, it says, with 2 shades of brown and any shade of white or ecru. But the stitches I've seen have the tree in green and then the coffee bits in brown. So let me just fold it. This could be a really quick stitch. You could have this one stitched and on your tree this year as well. I'm sure you could change the date very, very easily. But I like that. Like I say, on the, I'll see if I can put a picture in, but on the Plum Street Samplers website where I found this, or the type pad, it's like on an older blog, this was brown, the cups were brown, and the tree was kind of green. So you can do whatever colours you like. It's yours, you do what you like. Right, okie dokie. So I'm going to do this box first, and then I'm going to do my new purchase, and then I will show you the, 2 more envelopes from the Words of Wisdom books if you want to see them. Right, so number 20, is that 20? There it is. Quite a big box, feels quite weighty. What have we got? I didn't get to try that lip lift thing. I left it in this room. So another red, or a red, nails ink. I do quite like that red actually. I've said before I'm not a massive nail varnish person, but only because I always mess it up. So I do like that red. It's a really nice red. It's called V&A, I think. Yeah, V&A. Beautiful red. Might give that a go. Let's see if I can be a big girl and give it a go. Right, now I'm going to show you something. I think she's incredible. She's not in the best condition. She was found in an attic in a house in Tunbridge Wells, and I bought her from a dealer who deals in stitchy things in samplers and things like that. Now, when I show you her, you'll probably understand why I wanted to buy her. But it's more than that, I'll show you. So here she is. She's in a frame. The frame has seen better days. The stitching is pinned to a backboard, but it is actually stitched and ribbon wrapped. So let me see if I can show you her. So no glass, this is straight onto the stitching. So she could probably do with a good bit of conservation work, and you'll see that we're missing entirely the top corner. Now, let me show you what you can see, and then I'll read to you what you probably can't see. It's got a gorgeous border, which looks like a series of kind of vines with little yellow leaves on them, but it's actually a mixture of yellow and grey leaves. It says 1809 Harriet Humphrey. And then across here, you have got the coronets and the crowns. Okay, so V is Viscount, M is Marquis, P is Prince, GR would be George Rex, which is actually George III, so Farmer George or Mad King George. D is Duke, E is Earl, B is Baron. You have got the most incredible satin stitches here. And then an alphabet, and then this row at the top here. Now, I'm going to have to get a magnifying glass out because I'm not entirely sure they are cross stitches, but I can't see well enough to see what they are. But it is stitched on the most tiny fabric. And some of it's over 1 and the rest of it's just tiny. I think it's potentially more than 56 count. So this is why I bought it. Opportunity lost cannot be recalled. Therefore 'tis the highest wisdom in youth to make all the sensible improvements they can in early days. For a young overgrown dunce seldom makes a figure in any branch of learning in his old days. So that's why I bought it. The word dunce. I've only ever seen 2 samplers with the word dunce on them, and I own both of them now. So it's going to be a little bit of an area of research, I think. The use of the word dunce is quite interesting. The original sampler that I have, Be Not a Dunce, Mary Ann Kettle, that I've already reproduced, is stitched quite coarsely. I think she was only about 8 when she stitched it. This is a much older girl, probably, I say much older, 12, 13, 14, I would think, which puts her birth sometime in the late 1700s. Now, it's so fine. This is so fine. So it's interesting to see the use of the word dunce on a very fine piece of needlework as compared to a sort of a much coarser piece of needlework. I can't remember Mary Ann Kettle. I think she was 1838, something like that. It's my own, I should probably remember. But this I just really liked, and I could even forgive this top missing corner here because I'll be able to carry on the pattern and carry on the numbers and fill in that missing corner. But as I said, she was found in an attic in Tunbridge Wells. Now, I have tried to search for Harriet Humphrey using Tunbridge Wells as a sort of reference point, because sometimes these things don't travel very far. And it would seem that Harriet Humphrey, as a name in the late 1790s, was horrendously popular. You look in Kent and several different areas sort of around Kent, Tunbridge Wells area, and further afield. The place is awash with Harriet Humphreys, awash with them. You could throw a stone in any street and hit Harriet Humphrey. So unless when I take this frame off, there is something hidden underneath, and I don't imagine there is because I think it's been off recently. You know, I don't think I'm going to find a birth certificate or anything like that, or any great family history tucked in behind. But I'd always wanted a sampler with the coronets and the crowns on, and I'd always wanted, well, I didn't know I wanted another one with the word dunce on it, but it appears I really did. So there she is, as Harriet Humphrey. Right, if you're not staying with me for these next 2 envelopes, then I shall say cheerio to you now. Stay classy, stitchers. And if you are, let's see who is in here. This first one, who have we got? Elizabeth Hull, 1863, waste not, want not. Remember thy creator in the days of thy youth, waste not, want not. Remember thy creator is a very, very common phrase on samplers. And actually not a favourite of mine at all. But this is cute. This is lovely. And who else have we got? We've got a Fanny. Marvellous. Fanny Wilson. Truth and sincerity are foundations of all happiness. Ain't that the truth, Fanny Wilson? So we now have quite a few fannies that I can start a fanny wall. So I have this one. I have another sampler by Hands Across the Sea called Fanny Hussy. Is that just not the best name ever? And I also have, actually, within reaching distance, she says, Fanny Taylor, who had done her name in the most fabulous way. And I also have another one on my wall through there whose name is Fanny. Ah, she's one of my own. What's she called? I had to go and have a look. Fanny Lacey. How could I forget Fanny Lacey? So Fanny Hussey, Fanny Lacey, Fanny Wilson, and Fanny Taylor. That is the start for Fanny Wall right there. Right, I'll see you tomorrow. Stay classy, stitches.